Hello, world. Welcome to episode 25 of the Podcast Monitor app. We last time set up a branch to work on the next deliverable, which was the filter class, and we created the tasks for the functionality that we wanted to add. We started by creating some of the different classes for the episode, the metadata, and the feed itself, as well as some kind of tests that we want to run. And then we added the definition, or we added the declaration of this first filter method for the current task that we're on. So what we're going to do this time is we are going to implement the method so that it passes these tests. So let's get started with running the filter unit tests to see that they both failed, and we have a feed object, and right now we're getting none back from filter, which makes sense. And so basically here we're going to need to construct a new feed to return that is within this kind of date time range here. One thing we're definitely going to need is the from feed metadata import metadata, and I will probably need the episode too, because I would expect that we'd probably need all these things that we're kind of importing here, and we have the whole date time stuff, and we'll probably need time zone too, so let's add that one in. Alright, so that should be everything that we might need for this. Now, what we're going to need to do is basically, so in feed, right, if we look at the feed class, we have a metadata and an episodes. And so we know the feed that we're constructing, right? So we're going to take a feed and we need to pass in this data here, and that's what we're going to end up returning is this feed, this new feed. And so we have this return data that we're returning, and that's going to be a dictionary here. And one thing we do know to start with is that we're going to have the metadata here. And that's going to be the same metadata as the passed in feed. So you just add that in there. So now the other thing we need is to decide on the episodes list, right? And so in here, we want to say episodes is equal to episode for episode in feed episodes. If, now let's look at the episode here, right? So we have this published date, and we're going to basically do a similar comparison to this. So I'm just going to copy these three lines for now for reference, and down here. And so we basically want to say whether or not the episode pub date is within range. Right, and so let's actually create another method here, def date time in range, and we'll have check start end. And basically So actually, we probably won't need this TZ because they should all be passed in with it. And I guess we're not referencing episode directly. So we'll see if we need it. I guess technically we're not referencing that directly either. So maybe we don't need any other stuff. So we'll find out. So let's say in here we'll say return check greater than equal to start, and check is less than or equal to end. Right, so it has to be within that range there. And then in here, go if date time in range start end, and that should do it for that part. And then we'll just want to say ret data episodes equals episodes. All right, let's run and see if it worked. It did not. So we are getting a feedback, but only one of them failed actually. So I guess that's good. So one of them passed and one of them failed. Now the question is why? Okay, so filter none in range failed. While test filter in range passed. So it does work, right? So that's, I guess, the good thing. So in this case, right, we're going from the January 20th here, right after this one. And then we're going until January 25th, which is after these. So we're getting these two, and it's properly saying that given the time past this one, when it checks this, it doesn't include it, and it doesn't include that one. So now the question is, why is this other one not working? And what is it returning? And honestly, I think the best way to do that might be just to print it out. If we go to, so we don't have any sort of print, but we do have the data here. So let's do that. Let's just, I'm not going to write a print right now for this, but I do want to see what these are returning. So filtered feed, metadata, what was it? D data? Feed metadata, yeah, D data. Alright, so let's print this. Make sure this works. Alright, yeah, so we have URL type main, and so we can do the same thing. So if we do this, we're just going to get a list of episodes. So if we do this here, and try to print that, well, it's going to say list doesn't have that attribute. And so what we'll need to do is come out, move this over for episode in. So it's print app.ddata. Okay, and now we have the metadata up here. And then we have, so we're expecting two, the Cooligans and God Bless Football. So that's what we have, Cooligans, God Bless Football. So now let's take this, come down here, and see what this is sending back. So this one should be Oh, I think I know the answer. I think it's just we didn't update this to the right one. This should be empty. So it probably is empty. So let's check it out. Yeah, see, passed this, and then the other thing is that. So actually, it did work, and we had just actually implemented this incorrectly. So cool. That now works, and so we'll say git status, git add tests. Git commit -m corrected bug in test filter none in range. And let's mark this as complete now. Implemented filter in range. Cool. All right. So now we can move on to the next one. Get single feeds episodes for a day. Okay, so in here, so we'll have another method, def, and then on day, or I used to say from date, feed, and then key, let's pass back a feed. All right, and now we'll say test filter on test filter for day with episodes. Test filter for day without episodes. And now the other thing we need to look at, I'm going to switch over to this monitor. The other thing we need to look at here is UTC to EST conversion. Okay, so there's a difference of 5 hours. So EST is -5. So, for example, we have one of the episodes is at 18. All right, so I guess 6. All right, 6 p.m. Yeah, so, okay, so basically, yeah, so minus 5, so 6 becomes 1. Yeah, so if we look at this here, right, so this is 5 a.m., this is what we just did, this is 1 a.m., this is 15, so it's 3 p.m. or not. 1 a.m. 1 p.m. So this is 5 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and this one then is at 10:53 a.m. So yeah, if we do this, we have TZ the offset is time delta positive. All right, let's switch back over. I'm interested to see, because obviously I can just put them in. So it's like Python. Create est good time. So that's using PyTZ. Oh, so this, you need to create a subclass for it. I don't know if I care to do that right now, if that's what's required. Let me try time zone EST. Alright, let's see what Geeks for Geeks says. It says using that as well. Okay. So I guess we'll actually end up wanting to use it. I guess we'll end up wanting to use it if we ever get there. I think for now, I mean, none of these cross into different dates, so it doesn't actually matter now. And then we'll probably end up using the that whatever the PTZY, whatever it was, module for that. So I think for now though it doesn't really matter. In fact, we can just say here day equals date time 2023, and we'll do 120 tz info equals tz.utc. And then we'll do filtered feed equals self.filter dot from date, or I don't like from date. I'm gonna switch it to on date. So say on date, and this will take self initial feed and day self assert equal filtered feed something, and then in this one we're going to update this, and we're going to do, so this is on the 28th, 21st, so let's just do the 21st, and this one will be self.empty, and so we just need to create this one, which will contain these. So we'll have self dot feed metadata episodes, episode 3, so 4, I don't know why that is, oh, that's why, so now we'll set out, and this is going to be this here, self dot. And we'll end up probably updating these names once we kind of have all the tests in place. We'll like refactor this at the end and use like better names and stuff for different things. But as it is, we'll do commit am starting what do we say for the last one? Git commit starting on day filter implemented tests and method declaration. Alright, cool. So now we run this. These two now fail. So now we need to do this, right? And so fairly straightforward. I guess I'm not going to really have it, right? Like I could, for example, just, well, I guess, right. So I have right now, I'm getting something that has this date, right? But it's 0, 0. So if I were to give it, if I were to, you know, I have to use this method. And so I need to pass in the same info here, and then start on the earliest at 0, 0, 0, 0, and go to the end, which is whatever, 23, 59, 59, and then what is this last one? Is this milliseconds? So let's come into here, and we'll say start equals dt day dot year, day dot month, day dot day, and we'll go 0, 0, 0, 0, and tzinfo equals tt dot tzinfo. And then we'll have this, which will be similar. Except I'm going to change this to be 23, 59, 59, and microseconds there. So what is there, 100 or 1 million? So instead of 1 million, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, and then so roll it over one more and you'd get to the next day. And then tzinfo equal, or I guess I don't need to give it that since I'm not tzinfo. I mean, in theory, I guess I could also not give it these because I think those are assumed zeros, but that's fine. And then we'll do end. And we'll say return in range feed self.inRange feed start end, and that should, okay, let's see, tzinfo argument must be none or a tzinfo subclass not type get set descriptor. Oh. Right, and this has this attribute, I assume. Yeah, tzinfo is that property. Okay. Cool. And that passes to now. So now we can say complete here. Implemented filter on date. Okay, and now episode difference between two feeds. So mark it in progress. And we'll say so difference self primary I feel like I need better names for these. I'm going to return a feed. And so now we'll need to create a second feed. And so we'll say def test filter difference of overlapping feeds, and def test filter difference of I feel like I had the word and I blanked on it, of independent And so for now, I'll say git commit am starting filter difference added decals for UTs and filter method. Okay. So that's gonna be all for this one. So we're gonna go git tag at 25. And we've now implemented basically, oh great, I didn't actually add that. So HD at 25 git reset git diff git reset. So yes, we implemented the on date, the in range. We're going to do the difference, and we'll do the union, so we can do those kind of next time. And so we'll create kind of some other feeds, and then we'll end up doing some kind of cleanup and stuff. And so this should be fairly quick to finish this off. So we should be done decently soon. And then we'll do some testing of the prototype and whatnot. Or we'll do some kind of testing and playing around with it, see how it works, right? What things we're getting back, and then we'll start prototyping out something to send that information on social media. So until next time, see ya.